Hello people, this is Mark from Kharischangeworks. Guys, hope that you are well. Story time. This is from a guy called Swami. Again, check his work out. It's quite interesting on some of the stories that is being told by himself. This one specifically talks about your path of spirituality and the fulfillment that comes from it. And he compares it to being lonely and alone. Now, you know as well as I do that people who are lonely are not necessarily alone. Equally, people who are alone are not necessarily lonely. Suppose it's got to do with the company you keep. That aside, before I start reading this story, I want you to please consider to subscribe and share and comment, and when you hit the bell to pick all when you do so, please, and then you will be notified for when we release the videos. It's 8 p.m. GMT UK time. Guys, browse the channel. There's a lot of good videos on here. So like I said in another video, this story theme is clearly the flavor of the month. I like these little stories because they are good. They make you think. It gives a different perspective of life, really. So, all that said, let's have a look at this little story. And Swami says the following. You are never lonely on the path of spirituality. That which makes you lonely is the world and its external relationships. On the path of spirituality, you are alone, which means all in one, but you're not lonely. And as you attain the heights, at the time comes when you are totally alone, because all peaks are lonely. But that is not the sort of loneliness you find in the world. This loneliness is fulfilling. You don't feel alone. You feel one with the absolute reality. You can do this. Not by worrying, not by taxing your mind, not by physical exercises, but just by purifying your heart and your mind. The easiest and surest way is that of self-surrender. You don't surrender yourself to any external force. No. You surrender your ego to the Atman within you. That is the soul. And then a fount of knowledge flows. Then you come in touch with that happiness which is self-existent and unending from eternity to eternity. What a nice little story. Listen, my experience is when you are trying to achieve fulfillment, the people who walk along that path with you will be few. The people who start with you may not necessarily be people who will end with you. And the people who end with you might not necessarily be the people who start with you. So when people drop away on your path as you walk towards this enlightenment, you will find that there are people who are bobbing in and out of your life. That is kind of natural course in the world. As long as you yourself do not take your eyes off the goal, as long as you fix your eyes firmly on your goal. And as he says, when you surrender your ego, the thing that gets in the way, to yourself, to the universe, then you'll find yourself all in one. It's quite an important concept, really. That the thing that gets in your way, reaching your goal, fulfilling your destiny, is the ego. Interesting. So, on your path to fulfilling your destiny, as long as the ego is humbled and it is surrendered to the cosmic force, the law of attraction will talk to you about the universe. You will find that fulfillment, albeit that you will be all in one, alone. But you'll never be lonely, and the reason why you'll never be lonely is there will be people who will be bobbing in and out of your life, and they will keep you company. Now, I'm sure Lara will find this a little bit embarrassing to some point, but she's been the consistent one in my whole entire life. Next to my parents, she's been the only one who's been with me and for me and has had my back for years. Likewise, I've had her back for years. That's the kind of friendship we've got. And as it happens, we are on the same path called Kharischangeworks. And yes, sometimes it feels that I'm quite lonely on this path. And then I remember I have her. Over time, I have had people bob in and out of my life. And I'm grateful for those people. Yet I've never been alone, because my life has been surrendered in multiple layers. I speak about being content in another video. And my life over the last particularly 3 years or so has become incredibly content, where I've adopted this thing called indifference. I've made a video on that also, by the way. And as lonely and as alone I might feel in bits of this journey, I'm grateful to report back to you that my eyes has always been fixed on the goal. The goal which I believe has been given to me to fulfill. So now what I'm asking you to do is to consider those people who are in your life. When have they joined your path? When have they left your path? What have they left you with whilst they were on the path with you? How many people's lives have you joined and how many people have you left? What is the legacy that you've left with them regarding yourself? You see, when we reach the top of our game, so to speak, when we have achieved it all, yes, we ourselves will stand on that pinnacle, that Mount Everest of achievements. But in reality, when you look back, you will see the people, at least in memory, and there'll be maybe the one, if you're lucky, two who will be there with you, but they will let you go first. Because they're the ones who support and encourage you to achieve your goals. My friend, those people are gold. They are precious. They are a rare commodity. I hope you are also a rare commodity in today's cheap and cheerful world. So today's story is all about fix your eyes on the goal, pursue it, surrender the ego. And remember that there are people who will come in and out of your life. They will bob in and out. They have a role to play in your life. And even though you might feel that you're alone, and there will be times where you feel lonely, it's not necessarily the case, because you will be never alone because of the people who've enriched your life. I suppose in many ways that's why I keep on referring to make sure you've got good, wholesome, reputable friends. Because believe me, not even your family will stay true to who you are. I know. That's all I want to say at this particular video. Fix your eyes on the goal. Surrender. Because when you stand on that Mount Everest of achievements and you look back, you will see who truly matters in your life. So for this little story, I thank Swami for his wisdoms. I pass it on to you. So there you go. Okay, my friend, that's all I want to say today. I hope you found this little story entertaining and thought-provoking. Like I said, please do the YouTube admin, the share, the subscribe, yada yada, and all those things. You know exactly what to do. Tell all your friends, tell all your family, because I'm sure there are people who could benefit with particularly this little playlist, this story one. It's good. For now, this is Mark from Kharischangeworks, and I'll speak to you soon.